She said she'll judge. Okay, can you show that to her?
Just 1 minute, life.
All right,
you said you wear what?
Put my dick camera.
I know that's right.
So country.
Well, I feel like honestly, 5 inches is a huge to me.
5 inches?
Yeah, that's big to me.
No, okay.
That's super big. I love that size.
I know my mom used to say she'd rather be tickled than be stabbed. Seriously, because some people got all that and they just be damn stabbing the hell out your ass, and it's not really, always pleasant.
No, but he's supposed to.
I don't want to see it. A1?
But I don't know. I just want to show Suki my pick and let her judge.
Yeah.
She said she'll judge. Okay, can you?
Listen, guys, I'm back with a fourth or fifth video, but I think it's really important to discuss this. You know what? Watching this video, obviously, this part of the video is interesting, right? This is not where he's actually having a problem, because he actually says, first and foremost, I want to be able to show her a pic of my, and she says, I'll see it, I'll judge it, no problem there. Consensual is great. It's where it gets later on when he starts making these comments about her. This is where it gets different, right? And this is where you got to pay attention, right? When you're having when some people are having for instance, when Suki's having a sexual conversation, if you want to call it that, right? When you turn it onto the other person, this is where it can get uncomfortable. You have to kind of watch the slope you're on, right? Because people can change their minds at any given point, right? But when you start making comments about them, that's where it can get a little bit tricky, right? When it involves them and you, it can get a little bit tricky. You know what I mean? If you're talking about you and what you like, that's different. That's what the summation of the conversation was about. You guys were discussing sex and relationships, and you're talking about what your preferences are. But when you start saying about what I want to do to you, now we get a very dangerous slope we're going to be walking on, right? Now, of course, look, Suki is someone who can give it back. She'll dish it out and give it back, right? But the reality of the situation, again, this does not prove as a reason why YK Osiris decided to break the boundaries and end up kissing her. You don't need to kiss her. You don't need to touch her. You can have this kind of conversation and not touch anybody. What's important, though, is at the beginning of this conversation, it starts off well. It's when it gets later on, and what you're going to see here.
Show that to her.
Just 1 minute, life.
All right. You said you wear what?
Put my dick camera.
I know that's right.
So country.
Well, I feel like honestly, 5 inches is a huge to me.
5 inches?
Yeah, that's big to me.
No, okay.
Notice that she's not talking about anybody but specifically, she's saying about her own preferences, okay? We have to be very careful with this. She's not talking about you, Negro. She's talking about her preferences.
That's super big. I love that size.
I know my mom used to say she'd rather be tickled than be stabbed. Seriously, because some people.
Now, first of all, he shows her, she don't say nothing, she smiles, and then she looks away, all right? Okay, she's done with it. All right,
got all that, and they just be damn stabbing the hell out your ass, and it's not.
Then he asks her what she thinks, because he wants a verbal response. He wants a bit of the validation. He wants her to praise his penis. Let's be honest.
Not really, always pleasant.
No, but he's
thick.
Okay, so now he gets told, she gets it's thick. He gets a validation, whatever. I'm sure he was trying to impress Kandi too at the same time while showing her. That's why he wanted her to verbalize it out loud.
I don't want to see it.
Right? Cool. But then when it gets to this next part, let me see if I can get it.
No, I'm saying vocally. Let's see if that might be vocally.
What does your mouth do?
Shit, everything you needed to do. I'll make that spit. I know it do. I watched you walk in this motherfucker.
So you can tell by my walk?
I can tell by your walk that spit.
Hey, you a country? Where you from?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Campbellton Road to be exact. What's happening with it?
I cannot. This is how he is every time we get on there. He been over here saying he wanted to smell it.
I want to put my face in your. You say Suki with the good cook. You know what I'm saying? You be talking about how good that motherfucker smell and all that. So you want to put your. Yeah, I need a motherfucker scratch and sniff about that motherfucker.
Scratch and sniff. Oh my gosh, I the Cracker Barrel box. Scratch and sniff. I do have a scratch and sniff.
You do. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you know what I mean? We can go to the back and I can come back and
you want to smell my.
I might put my tongue down that motherfucker.
Oh my gosh, A1.
But we're gonna start.
Yeah, look. when you start, it's a very slippery slope. When you start doing the jokes about the other person, right? It can get real slippery. The real truth is this. She didn't find him attractive. That's probably what it is, right? And so it's going to always be uncomfortable. Let's just keep it a roll in a buck. The guy that she likes probably ends up won't be uncomfortable, but the guy that you're not, that she don't like, it's going to be uncomfortable, right? You know, it's a touchy slope. I'm not even saying that he necessarily did anything all the way wrong. It's more of a touchy slope. You just got to pay attention. So any man watching this, just in case they're thinking, what's wrong? You've just got to pay attention to the flow of the conversation, right? You started off with the dick pic. She said, okay, I won't mind judging it, etc. Right? Wouldn't mind judging it. She's seen it. Okay, now we're starting to make jokes about her and him, and you just got to pay attention to the body language and just see if they're comfortable, you know, as well with the conversation, right? And then you see it turn when he then makes a comment about not the scratch and sniff. He still got her. It's when he says he wants to put his tongue down, and then she was like, you can see the body language shifts, right? You can see the body language shift. Now, of course, again, probably wanted to make sure that she didn't want to embarrass him or whatever. So probably didn't want to, you know, make.
But we're gonna start with the sniff.
You are aggressive.
She love that shit, man. Look at her. She like that old shit.
I don't.
You love that shit.
No, I mean after like during sex maybe, but you know that not right now.
Nah, all this.
See, now she's letting you know, not right now. Take it what it is, man. Right now, she don't want that thing there, fam. So anything after that, fam, is gonna be a problem. If she then complains there and says, "Oh, well, why you stopped?" Well, you said anything after that, no more. Trust me. Listen, I've been in situations with some women, man, and you know, I've made sure that I just don't do certain things because it's like I don't want no trouble. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to miss no marks. You know, and sometimes someone will say, "Well, you're not being aggressive." Well, I'm not going to be until I know exactly what this is. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to misread. I'm not trying to have a situation. I don't want that on my conscience. Sorry, can't go back once it's missed it. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me personally, I'm gonna wait till you give me the invite. Yeah. So I don't think that's it. I don't think it's necessarily the most killer thing at all. I think you know, at the beginning there was consent, everything like that. Just a very tricky slope when we start talking about the other person that we want them, and if they're not giving us the same energy necessary back, gotta be very, very careful. You know what I mean? So I think less this one than anything, but she let him know at that point, listen, hey, that conversation, I like it when it's in the bedroom. That ain't for right now.
So you done mentioned match. I'm here. What's up? But we're gonna start with
man said, well, you done met your match. Well, unfortunately, she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to match with you because that's a political situation. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. Please don't make the same mistake some of these men are making. Look, pay attention to the flow of the conversation and the flow of the vibe between you and the lady you're interested in, because you don't want to make this same mistake. It takes one slip and then we're in trouble. You know what I mean? So like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button.